George Nauman, and my firm is called Chute, Gerdeman Retail, and I'm a principal and chief marketing officer. I think from my vantage point, or my lens, I've had the pleasure of being part of this organization from its inaugural event 7 years ago. And when we started this in San Francisco, to watch its progression, it's not like I'm not like a father figure like Angelo or Chris, but I feel like a great uncle, you know, and watching this industry evolve, watching it morph, and just to see the senior level type minds that are starting to present now. I think it's done a terrific job in getting people up to speed. I think this show for me has been a really big transition period. It's like, okay, I got it. I understand what digital signage is, but now what do I do with it and how does it integrate? Just about the time people were about to grab a hold of the understanding of digital signage, all of a sudden the mobile aspect come on it. So all of a sudden it's about how do you communicate digitally, whether it's on the web or in the palm of your hand or on a tablet or your laptop. I've heard a lot of that at this particular trade show, people trying to get, just when they almost like they had a hold of it, you know, it's morphed again. But that's the benefit of technology. You know, it's going to continue to evolve and get better and better. I think from our vantage point, because our company focuses on holistic environmental design, you know, again, things that we're going to present today is like the first House of Barbie on the globe, you know, or an M&M store at Times Square. And what we're looking at is those are brand experiences. You know, those are complete immersions into a brand. So the digital media plays a critical role in that, just as every other sensory aspect of that experience does. You know, the scent cannons that we put in M&M so you smell the warm cocoa are choreographed with the jumbotrons out on Times Square to build that awareness to draw you into the space. So I think any of those individual brand type companies, there's tremendous opportunity for them to leverage in. Then we're going to show a couple case studies when you're a house of brands, you know, whether you're Petco, whether you're West Marine, or someone of how you build the brand rationale for you as the umbrella company, and then how you get the supportive industries to support that and be a part of the overall process. From Petco, it was about healthcare, you know, about the dog whisperer, you know, how you go into a retail establishment and then build a stronger immersion for the customer to take care of their pets. So I think if you categorize those are passion retailers. You know, if you don't own a boat, you don't go to West Marine. If you don't own an animal, you don't go to Petco. So I think that's another key vertical integration, is when people really want to understand what that particular product category is about. Probably those two would be two of the larger ones. I think for us, and at least at this particular show, is the whole mobile aspect of it and what that means. I even read an article flying out to Vegas, how they talk about a gentleman who's buying for his wife at Valentine's Day, and they choreograph the story that all of a sudden he forgot. You know, and what you can do in terms of ordering the flowers, ordering the product, ordering the apparel, because she's already registers at these stores. It's the amount of decisions that can be made in such a short period of time that pull the services together to create an end result, which is what you were trying to buy as a consumer. That's the real magic in that particular aspect. The challenge is how to choreograph all that. You know, there's a lot of great ideas, and what you learn at this trade show is you get that great idea perspective, but then you start to understand the infrastructure it takes and the type of support it takes and the networking it takes to be able to accomplish that. Each show gets even more exciting each time, but just the attendance at this show is spectacular. And if you were here, you'd feel the energy, you'd listen to the conversations, and just the level of respect each of the individual participants have together, and everyone's trying to learn. You know, there's a lot of people who have a great grasp and understanding, but nobody has the total solution, right? You know, it's a concept where you're constantly pursuing it. And when you get some of these collaborative minds together, like the board members that have been assembled, it's exciting to be a part of that, to watch how it's going to evolve and see what it produces from here. I think the other thing we talked about was how to create even a stronger end result aspect of it. You know, the board has heard me talk about since day one about trying to be able to understand the end result application. Because when we first started, I coined a phrase from a gentleman earlier today. It was like a PowerPoint on a stick. You know, and then it's certainly evolved from that. But even there's still a lot of the displays that just show the big screens and the content. But it doesn't put it in a context that a person sees, well, how's it going to work in a museum? How's it going to work in a restaurant? How's it going to work in a retail store? So some of the ideas of actually building those physical manifestations at this venue might be something that would be really exciting. That would allow us to extend invitations to other industries I'm a member of, like in-store marketing. So you're talking about the manufacturer, and then to invite them to come to this show, or to the NRF. You know, it's all about the National Retail Federation. That would attract their attention to want to come and see this show, because it's about immersing the customer in that particular experience. I think it's always the evolution of the technology. You know, at the Intel booth, there's just some amazing. I mean, there are amazing things in each of the booths, but the instant reaction that you can get from a consumer standpoint, you know, if you can take it out of the booth environment and put it into the environment you're representing, again, whether it's a stadium or a restaurant or museum, but then the ability to track consumers' reaction is really fascinating, because we've talked a lot about analytics, you know, whether it's Nielsen or with the OFAB, and trying to be able to track the effectiveness of it. So, I mean, everybody's talking about return on investment and how you justify the system. Our vantage point, we come at it, ROI is vital, but when you listen to our presentation, I'm going to talk a little bit of ROE, you know, that return on experience. Because what digital signage does is to create that stronger experience that gives you an emotional connection that causes someone to want to participate in whatever venue you happen to be bringing them, and builds that loyalty that keeps them coming back. Some of those things are a little harder to measure. Digital signage, join the revolution.